What's up, guys? I'm Mike D'Antonio, founder and CEO of StockedUp, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have an awesome episode for you guys here today. We're going to be talking about exactly what went on in the market today. The Dow fell over 700 points. The tech sector really took a hit. And then on top of that, we have the bank stress test coming out tomorrow, along with GDP information and another jobs report. So all of this is a lot of important information that is definitely going to affect the market tomorrow. We really had a crazy day in the market. Like, no one was expecting a 700-point drop, and this happened pretty quick, and we're approaching some major support levels. So in this video, we're going to be talking about all of that, and we're also going to be talking about some other hot stocks along with the normal momentum plays. And at the end of the video, we have a $17.4 million options trade for Friday. So, and then at the end of the video, we're going to be answering all of your guys' questions. So with that being said, if you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe to see our daily videos on your YouTube homepage every single day. So Tom, what happened in the market today and what should we watch out for tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely watch for another swing to the downside. There's been some terrible news. We're already down 700 points, and we've been forecasting this drop for a while, and it looks like we've finally fallen below some key technical levels that I've been plotting on the charts here for you guys. And with these overextended tech stocks and the coronavirus concerns, there's nowhere to go but down right now. And the IMF even gave a terrible outlook for the economy, saying that they expect public finances to deteriorate quickly as governments combat the virus. And they now estimate a contraction of 4.9% in the GDP in 2020, which is lower than the 3% contraction they predicted in April.
Yeah, so obviously we had a pretty big fall today. And with this market, I think there are a lot of factors that can actually push the stock market down through these major support levels. But we cannot forget that the market is crazy. And guys, even though that Tom and I think that the market is bearish right now overall, that does not mean it's going to be guaranteed red tomorrow. Just because we think we're bearish, that means there might be a green day tomorrow, right? We're in a crazy market. But for, I would say, like maybe the next 1 to 2 weeks, as of how it stands right now, we're bearish, right? And the thing is, there's a lot of variables right now. There's the bank stress test. There is the GDP numbers and the jobs report. And then on top of that, all of the new coronavirus news. So we have, I know Texas is exploding, unfortunately, with coronavirus cases, or at least they're being reported. Same thing with California and Florida even. So I heard in some of these areas, they are holding back some of the reopening phases. Not the phases, but just some aspects of the reopening. And that could be horrible for the market. So if other states see these explosions in coronavirus cases, and if they start to pause these reopening phases, that can be terrible for the market. Okay. And then Tom, if you want to talk a little bit more about the stress tests tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. The central bank's annual stress test pretty much assess how a bank would perform under a variety of economic scenarios. And this year they're including a sensitivity analysis that's going to show how regulators see banks' plans for their dividends and buybacks, both of which are going to reduce the size of their capital buffers during an uncertain pandemic. And these tests will also include the effects of drawdowns of corporate credit lines, such as those seen in late March and early April. And this is really a good comparison to the markets, and it's going to be a key economic factor as we go forward, as it's going to really show how the economy is doing, because these big banks, this is pretty much where everyone keeps their money. All the money goes through here. There's a ton of loans that go through here as well. They control a ton of money in the markets, and especially, even though like Bank of America's stock is only like $23 a share, don't look at that as them being a small company or them not affecting the markets, because these big banks definitely affect the markets, like Bank of America, JPM. What are some more, Mike?
Group, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, Bank of America, Citigroup. I mean, there's so many. There's US Bank, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. There's a ton of major banks, and they all have a huge influence on the market. And I think it is definitely something to pay attention to, how these banks really didn't recover too much from the coronavirus, at least on a technical standpoint. You know what I mean? Like JP Morgan, Citigroup, all these big bank stocks really didn't recover as much as a lot of other industries and sectors did. So I think that is very important. And especially for the past 2 weeks, we've definitely seen a lot of downward momentum across the board in the financial sector. Now they are getting their stress test tomorrow, and that will tell us, like Tom said, a lot about the economy overall, but also it could be a good play to the upside or the downside for the bank stocks. So, yeah. And then, Tom, what time are the jobless claims and the GDP numbers coming out tomorrow?
Yeah, the jobless claims and the GDP numbers both come out at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, which is going to be 1 hour before the market opens. And they're estimating 1.3 million claims, or 1.3 million jobless claims, which is a pretty large number. And the last time we saw 1.5 million. So they're kind of looking for less of a number. And I kind of expect the number to kind of go up, especially with people kind of stopping their reopening phases.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the jobless numbers are always weird to me because, like, I remember for like the first 3 or 4 times we had jobless claims, the numbers came in way worse than expected, and guess what the market did? Flew right up, So I would not be surprised if, like, let's say we get like a better number than expected. I wouldn't be surprised if the market falls. Like, who knows? Like, it's just weird because sometimes we have something that you would think that would make the market fall, and the market does the exact opposite. So definitely keep that in mind. So before we start the momentum plays and the unusual options, we are starting a new tradition on the show. And pretty much we're doing member of the day. Pretty much we are picking one Discord member from the Discord group, the first link in the description down below. We're picking one member every day to be the member of the day. We're pretty much picking people who are just great members of the community, just have a lot of positivity and a lot of good things to say. And today's member of the day is John 1776. So I've been paying attention, and John's been very, very positive in the group. And I'm just glad to have John in the group, and he's definitely an asset to the community. So I just want to give John 1776 a little shout out right here. And thank you for making the Discord community an amazing place. So now for the momentum plays for tomorrow. The first one on the list is WYNN, W-Y-N-N. Now, this stock had a ton of downwards momentum today, and I could very well see this stock continuing to the downside. So, Tom, what levels should we be watching for WYNN?
Watch for them to go ahead and fall below $75 on the button, and they had an extremely bad day today. I really love this to the downside. It looks like they're really falling out on a daily chart.
Yep, so you guys heard Tom. If it breaks below $75, we will be looking at this in a bearish stance, meaning buying puts or shorting the stock. With the next one also to the downside, we have CSX.
Yep, watch for them to fall below 67.50.
67.50. If it breaks below that, we'll be looking at it in a bearish stance. Next one, we have Uber.
Uber, watch for them to fall below $30.50.
Yep, you guys heard Tom. And then Disney.
Disney, watch for them to go below 110.
All right, and then last but not least, we have Tesla.
Tesla, watch for them to fall below 953.
Okay, you guys heard Tom. Below 953 is the level we are watching. We are looking for all of these stocks to the downside, but they are only good setups if they break below the levels we listed. So keep that in mind. And now for the $17.4 million options trade of the day. And yesterday's options trade was like a $38 million play. We said, hey, watch out. So pretty much it was like Apple. I think it was 370 strike call options. And we said, hey, guys, they can very well be shorting those options. And it turns out they definitely did. And I have the same exact outlook as today's unusual options. So that's the Amazon 2,800 calls that expire this Friday, June 26th. Someone put about $17.4 million in the trade overall, and it really looks like they are shorting this. So guys, before you get all crazy and say Amazon's going to shoot up tomorrow, buy Amazon calls, don't do any of that. You can do whatever you want, but how it looks right now, it looks like they are shorting the Amazon 2,800 calls that expire this Friday, June 26th. So basically what that means is Amazon can be good to the downside. The best way to piggyback off this trade is to short the Amazon 2,800 calls, but most people can't do that. So if you can do that, could be a good trade, but other than that, it looks like, as of right now, it looks like a good play to the downside.
Yeah, they've got to be shorting those, because they how would they expect Amazon to hit all-time highs after a bad day like today? That would be an insane bet.
Right, and then on top of that, it expires this week. It's not like they're buying a month out. It expires this week, and it's that far out of the money. Yeah, it really looks like they're shorting them. So maybe look for Amazon to the downside. So with that being said, now we are going to get into the questions from the previous episode. So with the first question, we have Jadav saying, "Good work, guys. Thank you for the insight. You guys should go live during trading hours." So we are definitely working on this. But to be completely honest with you, I trade at the last 30 minutes of the day, and I trade in the first 30 minutes to the first hour of the day. It's not as exciting as you think. And honestly, most of the time, the more you trade, from my experience, the less you make. It could be different from everyone else, but I like to trade in the beginning of the day and the end of the day, and it does me very well. So, but to answer your question, though, we are definitely going to be going live, but honestly, in a couple weeks. So in a couple weeks, we have more information. There's a lot of variables right now. We're putting a lot of work behind the scenes for a lot of new updates and everything like that. But I love the suggestion. So we have Chip saying, "Love the Discord. I've recently signed up for a monthly stocked up options alerts subscription. I like the calls, but seems like maybe I hold on too long. What's your take on an exit? Is there an average exit point you'd recommend, or a certain percentage you normally take profits?" So I wish there was like a set, like constant, like, hey, if you're up 20%, take profits. If you're up 30%, take profits. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. Like, you can mess around with certain numbers, like maybe like a 40% or 35% profit level, like just off the top of my head, that would be good. But generally, Chip, there's no like constant thing, and a lot of it just comes down to experience. As you know, I always give exit signals especially for the stat modeling subscription. And, no one's ever going to be perfect or sell at the exact top or buy at the exact bottom. But a lot of it just comes with experience, and generally in this market, you are never going to have a problem by entering light and taking profits when you have them. If you do that, you'll be fine. No one's ever going to sell at the top or buy at the bottom consistently. So definitely keep that in mind. An amazing comment. We have kids saying, "Hi, Mike and Tom. First, before my question, let me say how pleased and happy I am with your guys' statistical modeling program. I've tripled my portfolio in 3 months." So that's awesome. That's huge, Tom. 3 months, tripled the portfolio. Solid. So anyways, he said, "My question is, would I get charged for the 100 times theta even if I buy the option in the last 5 minutes before market close? Thank you again for the hard work and due diligence." So awesome comment. And pretty much theta is working 24/7. 24/7, the options are decaying. If you guys don't know, theta is how fast an option decays. Options decay every single day. So pretty much they lose time value, and that makes the option itself lose value. So theta is working 24/7. So no matter when you buy, the option has theta running 24/7. All right. So we now have, let's see, we have Mr. saying, "Awesome, informative videos each and every day. I was wondering where you find your news sources that change the stock market. Also, thoughts on APT." So news for me, I like to, so with the stocked up options alert subscription, it's a link in the description down below, but there is like a news button there. I use that as well as CNBC. That pretty much gives me all the news I need. And Tom, what are your thoughts on APT?
Yeah, this is an awesome play to the upside if you are going to play it as a momentum play. Obviously, make it break $20.60, but with big moves to the upside like this, you always have to be prepared to see big moves to the downside. But as long as you ride that momentum up and they do shoot up in the morning, then you could definitely play this to the upside.
Yep, absolutely. So we have Augie saying, thanks again for another helpful video. I had a question unrelated to the video, but more about the statistical modeling program. First, planning to join next week. So I know that you guys have a free day trading channel in the Discord chat. For stat modeling, is it mostly swing trades or is it a mix of day trades as well? So amazing comment, but Tom, is there any way you could pull up the Discord real quick? I just want to show off the day trading channel. So pretty much with the Discord, it's the first link in the description down below. You could see that I give out completely free day trades every single day. Today's day trade, what was it? What was it alerted at? It was alerted at $185. By the end of the day, it hit $333. Not every day trade's going to do that, but this one worked really well, right? So the day trades work well, and the swing trades in most markets work a lot better. So with these swing trades, stat modeling is all swing trades, all of it. So we are always holding at least a day, and they're swing trades. If you want to, you can day trade them, but they're intended to be swing trades. And you could see that there's a bunch of bonuses with stat modeling. You could click the stocked up options alerts link in the description down below to learn more about it. So amazing comment. With the next question we have, let's see. We have Devin saying, can you guys please go over INO and its movement these last couple of days? Do you still see upwards momentum? So, Tom, I'll let you cover this one.
Yeah, when did he post this comment, actually?
He posted this 7 hours ago. So, it looks like in the middle of the market.
Okay, so yeah, it would have been right around the middle of the day. I honestly don't see too much more momentum to the upside with it. They are a pharmaceutical company, so they could be doing good off of this news with the coronavirus, or they could have news on their own. I believe that they may have some type of news with the FDA or some type of drug that they're testing or something that's in a clinical stage. But other than that, I really like them to the upside as a momentum play. But the thing is that every stock that goes up has to come down. And you can see the last time they had big green candles extended like this, you can see then they had big, huge red days that were the same size. So just be very careful of that if you are going to get into for the long term. But if you're going to play as a momentum play, you could definitely do it as it could definitely shoot up above 25.60.
Yep. So, Devin, my input on this is right now it is in a bubble. All right. So, from a short to medium term standpoint, pretty much, Tom, can you go to a 6-month chart real quick? You see that when it had that first initial run up around March 5th. You see that, Tom? March 5th. Yep, right there. This is almost the same exact setup. Pretty much, it's in a bubble right now. Will it go up tomorrow? Maybe, right? It's in a bubble right now, and it's just a matter of time before that bubble bursts. You know, it might have one green day left, it might have two, it might have none. But if anything, I would short this or buy puts on it, or even the safest thing to do is sell out of the money calls on it or call credit spreads. It's just a bubble, and there's definitely, in my opinion, room for a short-term pullback. That there's definitely a possibility of that. All right, so with the next one, we have, let's see, we have Shahid saying, good call on Apple and Spotify. I played the downside, such similar downwards trend. Thanks so much. I look forward to your videos every night. Cheers. So thank you so much for that comment. And I want to talk a little bit about Spotify. So Spotify is one of those movers where, look at, it had a huge trend up this past week, right? And it had a very, very similar setup. Tom, if you go to like a daily, it had a very similar setup on March 20th, right? Ran up for 5 to 6 days, and then it took a couple days to fall, right? It's the same exact setup right now. Now, Tom, can you zoom in on the days of May 26th and May 27th, just around there? So pretty much, guys, you can see how right now in Spotify, we have a doji on the chart, which is pretty much it opens and closes at the same level. And that's almost the exact same thing that happened on May 26th and May 25th, right? But it still fell a couple days later. So in terms of Spotify, I am still bearish on this. However, this is not going to be a play where it's down to $210 tomorrow. It's going to be one of those things where it's a very bumpy ride. If you do have puts on it or you are short it, it's going to be scary to hold. But as of how it stands right now, keep in mind, this stock just went from $180 to highs of $257 in 6 days, right? It's due for a pullback, so it's just a giant bubble right now. I think there's a lot more room to the downside, but it's going to be a bumpy ride. So hopefully that helped your question. And with Apple, I think it was very nice to finally see this pullback with tech. Apple and Microsoft and Facebook have just been powerhouses for the past couple weeks, and I'm pretty happy to see this pullback. And I am definitely not surprised that the market overall fell today too. And honestly, I think the tech sector played a huge role in that.
Yeah, I think this is what will definitely drive the markets down. If the tech sector continues to fall, the market will definitely continue to fall, in my opinion.
Absolutely. We could see right now Apple and after hours bleeding a little bit, nothing crazy, but look for Apple. Like, honestly, if you guys want to get a good sense on the market, look at the tech sector charts, look at Apple and after hours, look at Microsoft, Facebook. Those will tell you what's most likely going to happen. The SPY is very volatile. It'll juke you out. It'll do whatever, it'll break your ankles. But look at Apple and the tech sector right now is what's really leading the market. And I think that's what's going to totally guide us to the next move. And as we speak, Apple is falling more in after hours. So actually, what are futures at right now? Dow futures are at, let's see, 70 points down. So pretty much flat. So we'll see what happens. So Tom, with that being said, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or anything to watch out for in the market tomorrow?
Yep, the one stock I want to watch out for tomorrow is going to be Boeing. They fell below a key support that I've had on my chart for a long time, and they actually played off of it in the middle of the day very perfectly. And in after hours right now, they are bleeding off heavily, and I'm very bearish on Boeing for the short term. Obviously, they've fallen very significantly ever since this humongous rise that they've had. And I think based on technical levels, they could easily see a fall down to $150 a share. I'm not saying this is going to happen tomorrow, but I'm saying over the next few days/weeks.
I was so close to buying Boeing puts today, you have no idea.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Doesn't mean it's going to fall tomorrow, but I'm totally with you. Overall, I think this can definitely be a solid swing trade. And honestly, even a put debit spread looks pretty nice on it. If you go out to maybe the July, let me eye out a play. Maybe you go out to I don't know, maybe the July 2nd chain. If you bought a 170 strike put and sold the 155 put, that could be a huge trade right there. So keep that in mind. If you guys want to take it, feel free, do whatever you guys want. And if you guys have any questions, as always, let us know in the comments down below. There are a lot of catalysts right now in the market that will heavily influence the market. We have a lot of important information coming out tomorrow. I'm very excited to see what happens with this stress test with the banks, Tom. I'm pretty excited for this. And banks have been taking a beating lately. And, I'm telling you, I'd be surprised if bank stocks pop tomorrow. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah, me too. I'd be very surprised if they pop. With all the stress test stuff going on and all the bad stuff that's been coming out, especially the stuff that Powell's been saying, I would definitely expect the banks to be kind of negative on the stress test, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. As always, guys, the market is pretty crazy right now, so I would not go in too heavy on any specific plays. But if you guys want to get completely free day trades every single day for options and stocks, click the first link in the description down below. And if you guys want to trade the exact same options that Tom and I trade every single day, click the Stocked Up Options Alerts link in the description down below. And pretty much you guys will have access to the exact options that Tom and I trade every single day. If you guys have any questions, don't forget to comment on this video, and we will answer them in the next video. And Tom and I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who's been liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on these videos. The YouTube channel has been exploding so much, all because of you guys. We've gained almost 9,000 subscribers in the last 28 days. And it's all because of everyone who likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. You guys we're very grateful for all the support, guys. So thank you guys so much. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. Other than that, thanks for watching.